Hi everyone. I wanted to do a video today, especially honoring Michael Jackson because it would have been his 65th birthday today. He was born in 1959. Okay. So I think you all remember him as the youngest member of the Jackson Five, and also he had a astonishingly successful career as a solo artist. And the first album he released on his own was Off the Wall. And of course, after that, I would say the most successful album or CD, whatever you want to say, ever is Thriller. I think if you don't know the dance moves, you at least know the song. And it's one of those songs, like all the songs, you know what it is within a few chords. Um, yeah, and I kind of, I know that's gonna sound odd, but I feel kind of bad for him because when you reach the pinnacle of success like Thriller, sometimes you might have the tendency to try to compete with yourself, and maybe you might get lucky and match what you did before, but topping something like that many sales is pretty incredible. And so you could go the other way because, you know, um, if it becomes all about sales and numbers and money, then you're kind of fighting a losing battle there. Um, but I want to focus on his music career because, well, and I'll talk a little bit. I don't know too much about The Wiz. Um, The Wiz is a movie that they made as a counterpart to The Wizard of Oz, but with a total African American cast. And so that was successful, and the reason that's important is because it got a lot of backlash, and a bunch of people said, oh, there's no way that'll be successful, but it was. So, um, and then of course, that introduced him to Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones took his career in a whole other direction. And of course, he was introduced to Diana Ross as well. So, I'd say the most relatable song to me would be either the song that he did for the Free Willy soundtrack, Will You Be There? And then also Heal the World and probably Scream with his sister. Because you have to understand that these are two powerhouses with their own success, and they happen to be siblings. But like I said, they had success in their own right. So combine that, and you get a masterpiece. And he was able to do what he did, and she was able to do what she did, and they combined it, and it was awesome. Um, and that showed the bond of what they always had growing up as kids, even as adults. Because once again, if you let it, things can strain, and the relationships with family sometimes go by the side because, but they were able to keep their relationship and their friendship totally intact from being, famous. And also, you have to understand that they were famous from a very early age. He was famous since the age of 5. She was famous since the age of, I don't know, 7 or 9 because she was on um, Good Times, Penny on Good Times, and then it just catapulted from there. So, um, and then let's see. Yeah, and then of course there were always hits along the way, even after the most famous, which is History, the part one and two. That was this great double album, but after that there were hits after that even. And he wasn't afraid to take chances musically because he teamed with well he I think he teamed with Whitney Houston at some point. I know he teamed with Britney Spears at least for one performance. On The Way You Make Me Feel, because there was always another girl in the song, so she took over the female vocals. Um, yeah, he was incredible. He was really incredible. I remember him. I think my brothers introduced me to his music too. But like I always say, everyone has their own experiences with music. I can remember different songs for different reasons than probably they would, but I never forget a song lyric, which is really odd. I never forget song lyrics or movie lines from movies. So, and oh, here's another thing I want to say also. This ties in with the Thriller. He was one of the few artists who treated music videos like movies. And he got together with John Landis, and they created like a 4 and 5, well, longer than that, but say a 5-minute movie. And it was literally a movie. You had a start, a middle, and a finish. And back in those days, that was unheard of. I mean, that was monumental. So, all right. Bye, guys.